question of Armenia's location in the world may be a reflection of wanting to understand the distance between places. If I am to answer that question right now, I would respond like a poet or a medieval storyteller, that Armenia is situated in an empire with a blue heart, buried in the central part of the land. Here in this land, it's believed that God transformed people into pigeons so that they could fly out of sacred chapels during dangerous moments brought about by enemy attacks. Human faith was believed to be able to lift mountains and place them into the sea. Faith was also believed to allow people to walk across the ocean, and it's this same level of faith that has inspired the building of many magnificent structures. Without a doubt, the faith of the Armenian people forms an aspect of this grandness of human faith. But these are not the ideas being presented in this week's episode. Blue SEVAN, the blue heart of the Armenian people. The Blue Lake stretches the length of the highway. We are being led into the heart, nurturing the functions and parts of a landlocked country that has no avenue of releasing into the sea. Sir John Chardin was a French jeweler and traveler who visited the lake in 1673. He called it the Lake of Yerevan and also wrote that it was called Deria Shirin, or the Sweet Lake by the Persians. Armenians called it Girga Kuniksu, which means the same thing. The Turkic name was Gokcha, or Gokshe, which means Blue Lake.
The population is about 150,000 people who are living here. The center of the Gegarkunik province is the Gavar, and we also have a lot of villages here. The Lake SEVAN is very important, playing an important role for Armenians because it is fresh, clean water, which we are using for the irrigation, for drinking, so it is really very important. What kind of job the people are doing here? The agriculture, so industry, but the agriculture is playing a much more bigger role. About 17–80% of the people, they are planting vegetables, like potatoes. Usually we are saying the potato which is coming from Lake SEVAN near to this territory is very tasty. Of course, inside the Lake SEVAN, as it's too much bigger, we have not such a big variety of the seafood, but the famous seafood that we have, which is coming from Lake SEVAN, it is ishkhan, in English as the trout. On the peninsula, the building that you can notice is a seminary for the priests. So the students are studying there in Armenia. We have such two seminaries. The biggest one is Echmiadzin, which is our holy city, and the second seminary is right here on the peninsula of Lake SEVAN.
Lake SEVAN is surrounded by many rivers, including the Harazdan and Mazrik rivers. The lake is also surrounded by many towns and villages. Lake SEVAN is fed by 28 rivers and streams and is situated at an altitude of 1,900 meters above sea level, making the position of the lake among the highest in the entire world. But for us, the blue body of water on this seemingly dry land generates a peaceful environment that feels as though it's beyond the reach of the confusing outside world. Amidst the cool winds of this summer season, one feels a step closer to the face of the young woman on the Armenian map. We now approach a distance of 90 kilometers from Yerevan, the capital of Armenia. The Mikaelian family farm is situated on the shore of Lake SEVAN, known as the Blue Heart of the Armenian people. If we compare the map of Armenia to the face of a young woman, we are now heading down her neck to the southeast. 10 years ago, Armin and his wife Maria moved from Yerevan to start a new life at this oxen farm set up by their ancestors on the lake shore. It was here in Noratas village where the couple began creating cheeses of different flavors. Their lives had to go through a reset, and it wasn't easy.
We have some advices in order to pair different cheeses with different food. For example, we have some type of hard cheese, which is called Maria, by name of my wife. Yes, and it is very good for salads and also for other dishes. And have also some other cheeses with different spices and herbs, for example with thyme, with black seeds and like this spicy one, which are also very good, and with different sauces. We make also some different sauces for pairing with cheese and with raw matured meat also. And we have some collection of cheese and food pairings, and also for wine. It is the cheese which we keep and mature in clay jars like that one. We will mature from 1 year up to 2 years, and also we use different herbs like black pepper, thyme, and also red chili pepper and the garlic. It is a very spicy one, especially for lovers of spicy food and also cheese. And we have also some new type of hard cheese which is covered with pomegranate sauce. It is also very special and tasty one.
I mean, you still have the new create?
Yes, every year we make 5-10 new types of cheese with new recipes. And even when we have a good result, but the new cheese will look like an existing one. We do not make that one. We try to find something new, first of all, for us and also for others. We do not copy anything, and we try to be original. Let's start.
Yes.
Number 1 is cheese aged in wine.
เป็นไงบ้าง
Oh my god อันนี้ออกเปรี้ยวแล้วก็เค็มเค็มนิดๆค่ะเปรี้ยวค่ะออกเปรี้ยว
You can pair also with sauces. As I said, we have strawberry with cardamom.
This is wine,
and
right? Wine seed.
Also rose petals.
เป็นไง
อันนี้มีกลิ่นสมุนไพร This herb
นี่มันคืออะไรนะ
Yes, it's mint.
มิ้นท์
มิ้นท์
อร่อยค่ะอันนี้อร่อย
You can use some fruits in order to change the taste for tasting the next cheese.
The couple from Yerevan now have a stable business, producing cheese for distribution among high-end restaurants in the capital, as well as other towns. The farm is also open for tourists to visit and to taste the cheeses.
Again, please the name of the cheese number 7.
Maria.
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 For our team, we have a special preference for the hot and spicy cheeses, which contain many different spices. The spiciness of cheese helps to balance out some of the richness. Oh, and there is another fine-tasting cheese called Blue SEVAN, named after the Blue Lake. which is the heart of the Hayastan people. Hayastan is the Armenian name for Armenia. Not far from Armini and Maria's farm in Noratas village in Gurgar-Kupnik province stands a memorial site with a long history dating back to the Middle Ages. Kashgars are Armenian crossstones. The stone slabs, aged over 1,000 years, were erected in the late 9th century. The medieval cemetery of Noratas has the largest cluster of Kashgars in the world. Noratas Cemetery is also the largest surviving one, with Kashgars following the destruction of the Kashgars by the government of Azerbaijan with the war which ended in the 1990s. Kashgar crossstones are outdoor steels depicting designs according to the taste and preferences of the life and times of the craftspeople. Popular designs include roses, the sun, curved and crisscrossing lines, vegetative geometric motifs, grape leaves, and pomegranates, which are symbols of eternal abundance. Kashgars are a medieval-style Armenian art form. Kashgars have been inscribed on the UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage.
5 temperature of mineral water here is starting from 30 degree coming until the 53 degree, the warmest one here. You can drink. The people usually visiting here, they are coming, the doctors are recommending them what kind of temperature will be better for them to drink the water for healing their illnesses.
Any traveler to Armenia will have seen or drank water from a bottle by the brand called Jermuk. It's also the name of a mountain spa town, which is considered to be one of the more popular destinations for medical tourism. Jermuk is known for its healing hot springs and annually accommodates large numbers of tourists who go there for health and treatment purposes. The drinking gallery of Jermuk provides mineral water free of charge. The special quality about the gallery system of operation is that there are pipes delivering water at 5 different temperatures.
Այստեղ եկել եմ առաջին է հանգստի համար, հանգիստը համատեղելով բուժման համար, այստեղ ես հանգստանում եմ Արարատ պանսիոնատում, բուժումներ ենք ստանում մի 7-8 տեսակի, ասենք հոդային խնդիրներ ունեմ, այդ բուժումն եմ ստանում, ալերգիա ունեմ, ալերգիկ հիվանդություններ, շնչուղիների, այնտեղ ընդունում եմ պրոցեդուրաներ, որոնք շատ դրական ազդեցություն են թողել, լրիվ ձայնս խզված ես եկել եմ այս հանգստյան տուն, ու այսօր ճիշտ է մի քիչ ձայնս խզված է, բայց ամեն դեպքում էլի կարողանում եմ ազատ արտահայտվել։ Բուժումները շատ դրական ազդեցություն են ունենում։ Իսկ ջուրը, ինչ վերաբերվում է այս ջրին, որ նայում ենք, այնտեղ տարբեր ջերմաստիճաններ են, չէ՞։ Ես ուղղակի կարդացել եմ, տեղեկացված եմ, էլի, յուրաքանչյուր ջերմաստիճանի ջուրը ունի իր ազդեցությունը, ասենք, իրանց բաղադրությունները տարբեր են։
Jermuk is known for its hot springs and mineral water brands which are bottled in the town. The town is being redeveloped to become a modern center of tourism and health services. It's a small town with a population of less than 6,000. The road to Yerevan on the map of the young woman's face continues to surprise us with many other stories, especially since we are traveling with an extraordinary young woman like Armeni.
Եվ խորհուրդ կտայի շատ-շատերին, թե արտասահմանում, թե մեր Հայաստանում գային եւ օգտվեին այս չգիտեմ ինչ ասեմ, Աստծո տված պարգև ասա։ Եվ սա ունի իր դրական ազդեցությունը եւ բուժանձնակազմը իրանց հոգատար, ուղղակի հաճելի է այստեղ հանգստանալ։
Armenia proudly and tirelessly presents the country and its people. She tells us about many famous Armenian people who settled in other countries, especially in the USA and Europe. The singer Cher and the Kardashian family are among the list of celebrities of Armenian ancestry. There are also other famous singers and songwriters whose names we may not recognize. But this song, for example, may be one we have heard before.
Here we come. I want to introduce you with the Charles Aznavour statue. He was a worldwide famous Armenian songwriter, composer, actor, chanson singer, and his famous song, one of the famous songs is She. So he wrote over about 1,300 songs. He wrote the songs, even the Edith Piaf, she sing, and he played about more than 60 roles in the movies. He is very talented, famous person, so we are very proud to have him in Armenia. Unfortunately, in 2018 he passed away, but his songs are still alive and living, and we are listening every day.
ดื่มด่ำไปกับเรื่องราวไม่รู้จบพักทัก
Stories, we take a break to have lunch. This may not be the kind of route where we can expect to find any special restaurants, or even if there are restaurants, they may not be ones we would likely recommend. Armenia takes us on a ride up a slope in a four-wheel drive provided by the locals, inviting us to think that the meal waiting for us at the destination must be very special, and we expect to remember this meal for a very long time. We may be able to call this journey in Armenia as getting to know people along the barbecue route.
70-ական թվականները 1970 թվական նոր տեղափոխվել եմ վերևի գյուղների, նեղ նոր գյուղն է։ Կարո փլվեր էր քրտեր ժայռերլերի կեր թափեր գյուղը հեչան։ Դա համար գյուղը տեղափոխել եմ վերև։
This territory was under the plan. The government has decided to ask the villagers to move to other village because from this part there was gonna be water dam, like a gas they are going to build, get the electricity. That's why they were asked. It is gonna be dangerous to stay here, to move to other village. 2020, when there was a war between Armenia and Azerbaijan, of course, some villagers went to protect the borders, and among their relatives, of course, unfortunately, they passed away. But still, they are staying here, living, and we must protect our borders. Of course, starting from 1915, Armenian genocide, now it's already more than 100 years. So still we are fighting, we can say we are in the war with our neighbors, with Turks, Azerbaijan people. During that 100 years already, 3 times we have seen the war. We can say still we are in a war. But still we are living, so this is our life. We must continue to live.
The harvest from Hagobian's field of 400 square meters may not be enough to distribute for sale elsewhere, but this small field can still accommodate visitors. The charcoal grilled barbecue, which is smoking hot, is now seducing our digestive juices. Armenia may be thinking that the common and the ordinary will be forgotten by the world. Anyone who is interested can book a table in advance with Armenia.
Սկզբից են այնտեղ թոն իր եղել։ Այնտեղ թոն իր եղել, այնտեղ հաց թխել եք, ասեք, ունցել եք հացը թխել եք, հետո այնտեղ տակա եղել էլի։ Այնտեղ կառավացը դիրել եք, այնտեղ պարկալ եք։ Պարկալ այնտեղ էլի, մորուսի։ Թոն իր այստեղ թոն իր եղել, թոն իրը վառել եք, հա, մի մեշոկ ասեք ալ իր եղել։ Ջրաղացում աղած էլի, սև ալիր։ Հաց եք թխել, ասեք ստեղ չորացրել, ասեք մի շապատ, երկու շապատ կերել եք, հետո որ թոնիրը վառել է, այս պատերը տաքացել է։
Old Konsoresk is a village in the Goris municipality of Sayunik province in Armenia. The village is located to the east of the highway. The community of settlers arrived from Turkey during the Ottoman Empire. Uncle Gavor John's grandfather was also one of the settlers who sought refuge here, escaping Turkey in 1878. The caves in this village were turned into homes in 1930.
Իմ պապիկս 1978 թվականից ծնված է եղել։ 1879 պապիկս։ Դե ես Իրանի վեր հարցրել եք, ասել եք, բախեք ստեղ ապրել, ասում սկզբից փախել են եկել Իրանից, Թուրքիայից, որպես թաքստոցելի, որպես ապաստարան։ Եկել են ստեղ բնակվել, շատացել, ասեք, սենց, զուտ թաքնվելու համար էլի, որ ասեք բանան են, թուրքերը բան չանեն։ Սկզբից են այնտեղ են պարկել մորուս հետ։ Հետո էս պատուհանները որ կա, էստեղ փեդի կարողացել 58 տարի վերև եմ ապրել, 14 տարի ստեղ, բայց ինչքան երազ եմ տեսնում, չէ, միշտ ստեղից, միշտ ձորից,
Towards the end of the 19th century, Old Konsoresk was the largest village in eastern Armenia. At the beginning of the 20th century, the community had 8,300 inhabitants living in 1,800 households. In 1913, there were 27 shops and 7 schools. Konsoresk is famous for its canyon with beautiful rock formations and an ancient cave settlement. The artificial caves, some of which are now used as stables and warehouses, were inhabited up until 1950, which was when the Soviet Union took over Armenia. The village is well known for its involvement in David Bek's liberation movement due to its strategically located territory. Between 1728 and 1730, the village fortress served as a military base. David Bek was an Armenian military commander and leader of a rebellion against invading Ottoman forces who implanted Safavid Muslim tribes in the mountainous region of Sangisar.
So in 19th centuries, when our enemies like Turks attacking to this village, there was a woman who has about 9 children. She was going out to protect his babies, but unfortunately she was passing away and the children are becoming orphans. They have a grandfather who is deciding to build this place from where the water is coming. If you pay attention how it was built, it looks like the woman breathes, and he's saying that my babies will drink the water and they will imagine that it's their mother's milk.
Even though you might still be a bit unsure of Armenia's exact location on the world map, what actually matters more, though, is just how the country, its people, and their identity enhance the beauty of the world through their profound learning, artistic creations, spiritual beauty, and civilizations, which are destined to leave a lasting impression on people's minds. Regardless of how far apart you are, someone's beauty may be something to remember. It's the kind of beauty that makes you want to go on a journey to visit someone, maybe sipping tea while reminiscing about your good old days from the past to now in any season.
Food Work อาทิตย์นี้จะพาคุณผู้ชมไปตามหาของอร่อยจากดอกไม้